It's Pastor Kim coming to you with a midweek message. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving Day, and despite the fact that we aren't able to celebrate the way we usually do, despite the fact that 2020 has been a year full of disappointments and difficulties, we have much for which to be thankful nonetheless. Of course, we're thankful for the material blessings God has given to us. The list is practically never ending. God is indeed generous. But when it comes right down to it, we know that it's the gift of other people, and especially the gift of God's ever constant presence that brings the most gratitude. Sometimes, though, we forget. We forget how much others mean to us, and perhaps we don't realize how much we mean to others. I'd like to share a short story that illustrates that. Perhaps it's one you've heard, it's a favorite of mine. And as the teacher in the story learned, some of the most moving lessons can be taught by children. When Mrs. Klein first told her students to draw a picture of something for which they were thankful, she thought about how these little children who lived in a pretty rough neighborhood actually didn't have a lot of material things to be thankful. But she knew that most of the class would draw pictures of turkey or bountifully laden tables of Thanksgiving feasts because she thought they knew that was what she expected of them. But what took Mrs. Klein aback was a picture that Douglas presented to her. Now, Douglas was a second grader so forlorn. In fact, he was likely to be found close in Mrs. Klein's shadow, even when they went outside for recess. Douglas's drawing was not of a turkey. It wasn't of a bountiful table. It wasn't of things that you might think of as a traditional thing to be thankful for. The picture that Douglas shared was simply a picture of a hand. It was a hand, obviously, but whose hand was it? The class was very captivated by Douglas's image. One student said, "I think it must be the hand of God that brings us good things." "Oh, it's a farmer's hand," said another, "because they grow the food we eat." "I think it looks like a policeman's hand, somebody who protects us." "I think," said Lavinia, who was always so serious, "that it is supposed to be all the hands that help us," but Douglas could draw only one of them. Mrs. Klein had almost forgotten about Douglas in her pleasure at finding the class so responsive to his picture. When she had the others working on another project, she bent over Douglas's desk and asked, "Douglas, whose hand did you draw?" And Douglas mumbled, "It's yours, teacher. It's your hand." Then Mrs. Klein recalled that she had taken Douglas by the hand from time to time. She often did that with the children. But that it should mean so very much to Douglas, well, it really surprised her, and it brought a tear to her eye. Perhaps, she reflected, this was the heart of her Thanksgiving and everybody's Thanksgiving. Not the material things given to us, but the small ways that we give something to others. That lovely story is a reminder to take a step back and shift our attention from things, but to the people that mean the most to us. Because we are, dear friends, God's gift to each other. Please join us for our virtual Thanksgiving worship, which is posted today. May you celebrate tomorrow with a grateful heart because God's love for the world shown in Christ Jesus is the most indescribable gift, the gift for which we are most thankful. Have a blessed Thanksgiving.